Alright, so we're looking at the 4-hour chart here. Again, we're moving inside of this ending diagonal. It's of course the same technical picture, more or less. We're moving in this higher degree fractal of an ending diagonal, very big. You can see it dashed, actually dashed the gray lines. Now we had an ending diagonal that tested the upper boundary of this ending diagonal earlier, level A, and then did a level B, which is the lower boundary of that ending diagonal. Now we're doing a wave C. That wave C in green should do an A in white and a B in white, and the C should take you all the way to 3,700, 3,800, 4,000 after we break that neckline. This is the structure we are looking at. Of importance, this ending diagonal, or big ending diagonal that we're looking at, is based on the fact that that wave A is exactly 50% inside of that ending diagonal structure. So that wave C, when that C here in white, once it takes out that neckline, given that high degree wave A had already resisted at the upper boundary of that diagonal, we expect that the wave C will take us really to 3,800 gradually, of course. Okay, so the market is definitely a buy, with what we're hearing regarding more potential of having cryptocurrencies mature into actually the currency of payment or for settlement for Russian energy contracts coming out of the East. Then you'd expect there's going to be a rapid rise in Ethereum in particular, because this is the smart contract token, and of course in Bitcoin. Alright, so we're looking at that segregation here. Now of course we are inside a bigger ending diagonal, would mean that we are doing an internal smaller fractal of that bigger ending diagonal, and that is shown here as an internal fractal of that ending diagonal. The market has already done a 1-2. There is an internal 1-2, a 3, and a 4. This market is doing a 5, has potential now all the way, and that 5 will equate to high degree 3 here in Roman italic, equating with that 1. We're out of this neckline. There is really a neckline here, so we're going to the next neckline. That next neckline already takes us to 3,356, 3,490. We would expect to see these targets as early as next week. At that point, this becomes the end of that wave 3. We're doing a high degree correction for, has potential to test level 1 in the first place, but we'd expect to do a shoulder. At that point, that shoulder will actually meet with the low boundary of that ending diagonal somewhere forward in time. The market becomes a buy after that correction. We take the neckline out, we are going to $4,000 and $3,800. This is of course the longer term projection. We are more concerned with what's going on right now, short term. We're already in the market. We will be looking for 3,500 and 3,600. You have these levels here as targets after coming Monday. If you don't see them across the weekend, we would consider that we would want, of course, to close at these targets when we get to see them as of coming Monday. Right now, if you're not already in the market, we segregate this on the half-hour chart, make direct entries. We're going to 3,500 and 3,600. The stop is just below level 2 at that red arrow here. The market is now above the 200-point moving average. That's what we have when we get to segregate the 30-minute chart. Again, there is a breakout into what is expected the wave C, so it must be a 5-wave swing, and that level 1 here is very important. This is high degree 1 and high degree 2, and internal 1 and internal 2. Stop comes in here, 2,750 for whatever we are going to be buying. All right. Right now, this segregation would probably is correct. A correction in 3 will bounce at the top of level 1. So this is that 3 here in yellow. There is a 1 in yellow, a 2 in yellow. This is a 3, some kind of an ending diagonal. Breaks 2,992 is a buy. 3,080 is a buy. Anything into that wave 3 I would expect is a buy at half size with a stop below that internal level 1 here. You're going into this to level 3, 3,350 at least, before you have any kind of correction into a 4. Okay, so the best entry is 3080 for 3030. In between both is 3050. Stop is 2750, 300 points or $300 per coin to be exact. Target is we let it run across the weekend, but after the weekend on Monday we expect to see at least 3400. All right, so we now this hasn't moved as strongly as Bitcoin. All right, and again we would use fib projections right from the top of level 3 all the way down to level 2. Best entry is this one here on a retest of that neckline, and maybe even 3013, or if you're gonna divide your positions into two, your 3000 or 3013, they're really very close. We're going to 3400, going to give it 3335, 3420. You are, of course, would expect that wherever this takes us, any correction even back to 78.6%, 3120 is a buy, but with more risk entailed. Of course, if you're going into the weekend, probably we would consider to be long into the issue before the weekend if you're not already in the longs.